Before the president launched a strike on Iran's nuclear facilities over the weekend, he did not get approval from Congress. The Constitution gives power to Congress to declare war, but some members believe the president overstepped his authority on issuing this attack. WENY Washington correspondent Rachel Knapp joins us live with more this evening. Rachel.
Well, good evening, Renata. So the president's cabinet and the vice president say that the president was well within his authority to issue this attack on Iran to prevent the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. However, some congressional members feel very differently. They feel that he should have gone to Congress to ask for approval ahead of that attack, because they're worried that this could just further open the U.S. up into another war in the Middle East. So we spoke with some experts about the issues surrounding war powers.
The last time the United States declared war was way back in World War II.
Congress has declared war on 11 occasions, but since the Second World War, the United States has been involved in a number of wars and other military actions.
And in 1973, Congress passed what was called the War Powers Act over Nixon's veto. And this was in response to the expansion of the Vietnam War outside of the Vietnam borders into Laos and Cambodia. And this said that the president can use these powers in a national emergency if there is an attack on U.S. interests. And he has 60 days to do it, plus an extra 30 if he thinks that it is necessary in order to have a orderly withdrawal. The president can also use force if he gets direct statutory authorization. That is a law passed by Congress. This is what George W. Bush did for Afghanistan and Iraq.
The purpose of the War Powers Resolution is to ensure that there's a balance of power between the president and Congress about using military force. The act aims to prevent the president from essentially committing the U.S. into a long military conflict without Congress's approval. But both Democratic and Republican presidents in the past have argued their actions on using military force are justified because they are the commander-in-chief.
I stand here today as Donald Trump has taken us to the precipice of war.
Democrats are criticizing the president for issuing the attack without their consent. While some Republicans have shared that same sentiment, most Republicans argue the president has the authority he needs under the Constitution.
The commander-in-chief has Article 2 responsibilities. They're very serious and important, especially in times like this. I think he used that authority judiciously.
Now, Renata, there's a growing movement here on the Hill for members to further limit the president's powers on authorizing these attacks without Congress's approval. Some have even introduced legislation on this, and some members want a vote on this as early as sometime this week. But Congress could essentially cut off funding for the military as part of the ways that they can prevent another attack. However, that is unlikely to happen because we have a large military presence overseas. Renata, back to you.